The plan for today is we're going to be playing Oxygen Not Included. We'll do that for the first half of the stream. We are not going to be resuming our colony because I sure as heck don't remember what was going on with that. It's been almost 2 years since the last time I played. It was very, very, very early in this channel that I last played Oxygen Not Included. So what we're going to do is, as always, when I hop into a game, we're going to go to the options and see what accessibility stuff we have. We have UI scale. Oh, that is... Okay. I'm already seeing it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Didn't we mess with the UI scale last time, and the problem was there's certain screens that didn't work in it? We do have basic audio stuff. You can choose to use different units for temperature if you want. You can change the camera pan speed. It does say there's more options available. You can choose if you want to provide data and feedback. So not a whole lot of accessibility stuff other than the UI scaling. And I vaguely remember there were certain screens that if you scale it up, like you saw I scaled it up and I couldn't get to the quit button because it's off the bottom of the screen. I remember that being a problem. Fahrenheit? Yeah, I know. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is a new game in survival. I haven't done as much in Spaced Out. I think I'm going to try Spaced Out because I haven't done as much. And we have the choice of starting planets that all have their pros and cons, well, asteroids. Because the whole gist of what this game is you get teleported onto an asteroid and don't do the die. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave it on like the default starting one because I haven't played in so long. But what we're gonna end up needing to do is hop between there and story traits. I don't even know what these are. Let's see. So we have a synthesizer that is a power colossal relic, a Gravitas Underground sleep lab. When duplicants sleep, their minds are blissfully blank and dream-free. But under the right conditions, things could be different. Interesting. Critter Fluxomatic. Explore the revolutionary genetic manipulation device designed for critters. Whether or not it's ever used on non-critter subjects is unclear. Its DNA database has been wiped clean. We have the Mysterious Hermit. Discover a reclusive character living in Gravitas Relic, and persuade them to join the colony. Revelations from the past could be far-reaching implications for duplicants everywhere. Even their makeshift shelter might be of some use. And the Ancient Specimen. An asteroid has a few skeletons in its geological closet. Track down the fossilized fragments of the ancient critter and assemble the pieces of Gravitas history. Okay, so this is like literally just things to give you goals or whatever. That's kind of cool. And if we go under game settings, we can choose a seed. If we want, like, you can make things sweatier or not, like how bad do you want radiation and durability and all those, how bad do you want the stress reaction teleporters to exist, meteor showers. So you can basically up and down your difficulty. Excellent. I'm gonna leave it alone because I haven't played in like 2 years, and while I was decent at it, I would never say I was particularly great at Oxygen Not Included because I didn't put the time in. Scenarios are crazy nowadays. Gotcha. I haven't played in so long. I don't even remember there being scenarios in the game. Alright. So, we've got our duplicants. I'm not going to go out of my way to, like, tailor-make my duplicants, because I just always do that kind of... I always kind of avoid that kind of thing. I just want to make sure I have the basic different stuff represented. We also need a name for the colony, by the way. So the big thing I'm seeing that is a problem is I do not have someone who does planting. But honestly, I think I can go with this. I think it'll be okay. One thing I need, though, is a name for a colony, which is always one of the most difficult things ever, is just naming things. Storage unit. And as a reminder, we are just stuck on like a little asteroid. We'll have these 3 people, and then, we'll get more people as time goes along. Well, my brain is blank. Oh, you all then? I am just completely blanking. Rocks? No. Hemorrhoid? It's Myroid. Deeply upsetting name. I'm going with it because I need to not sit here on the naming things screen. Alright. Alert. The asteroid we call home has collided with an anomalous planet, decimating our colony. Rebuilding it is of the utmost importance. I have detected a new cluster of material-rich planetoids in nearby space. If I can guide the duplicants through the perils of space travel, we could build an even bigger, better than before. Okay, so the first thing you run into when you're playing Oxygen Not Included is you have your fog of war around you can't see, you got your 3 duplicants, and as like RimWorld and all these other things, you got your schedule and all that kind of stuff. It can be useful to rotate their schedule because they have the day-night cycle marked, but there is no day-night. Can't remember how all that works. You've got your priorities, so usually what things I'll do is I'll go out of my way, and anywhere I see that people have an expertise in something, I'm going to mark them to do that first. You really don't have... Our characters, none of them are particularly super specialized. Oh, but you're bad at constructing, so where is constructing on there? Building. And you're bad at machinery. That's, I believe, operating. There you are. And you're bad at machinery as well. So they'll still do it, but I'm going to have them deprioritize it. That way, the people who are good at stuff will hopefully do the stuff they're good at. So one of the first things that we need to do is be able to get access to the basic resources I need. There happens to be water right next to us, so that's excellent. So I'm going to go like that. We get a whole bunch of plants down here I can eat. Let me dig all the way over here, though, to actually do that. And the reason for that is I want to give some room for this platform to have a ladder on it later. Now, I don't have any other material yet, so... So I'll put the thing for the water there. Alright. So one of the first things I'm going to need to do is build a bathroom. I think I'll put the bathroom down here for right now. Now I got a source of water. Setting a bunch of those to auto harvest. These ones are going to just yank up. Alright.
Ooh, shiny stuff.
So that gives some starting stuff, and I need to get the restrooms online right away. Actually, I forgot in this game, I could just, out of the box without mods or anything, be like, bathroom. I usually build 2 of them. And I do the same with the water basins. That way I never have to worry about people not washing themselves as they move around, because people are disgusting in this game. Okay, so we got a huge metal deposit up here. Do we have any obvious geysers nearby? I mean, there's that one. So we got a steam vent down there. That'll be pretty good for us. Not too far out of the way. What you can do to look for those is they'll have, like, if we go back over to this geyser, it'll have the neutronium. It'll have a couple of bars like that. So if you look for, like, 4 neutronium across, I think it's 4 or 5 blocks, just in the middle of nowhere, you can usually get a good idea where they are. That said, I might... No, that's a bit slight. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and I only care about them washing their hands going that way. Oh, it's the green mist on the right? Yeah, so that's polluted water is there, and that's polluted oxygen. They can still breathe it, but if I turn on the germ UI... Where is the germs? There. Oh, actually, it doesn't look bad yet. But yeah, so that'll get like super scuzzy and germy later. And we'll be making plenty of that of our own. Don't you worry. We'll have plenty of our own disgusting, horrible, awful, why would you be in this place kind of air. Now, if I put a pneumatic door here to separate this out, when they go through this, then we'll have this all set up. Meanwhile, we can go ahead and we'll make the ladder go down farther, because next I'm going to need to make a barracks. Don't you dig the ground you're standing on. Stop it. Please, just move. Just stop what you're doing, alright? Cancel that. Because otherwise they'll dig the ground they're standing on, and that will trap Gene on the other side and make the bathrooms inaccessible. I run into that crap all the time. That is like the one pain point of this game, is you do have to babysit the dupes, which is what your people are called, because they will literally just... You'll have a bridge, and they'll dig the bridge up behind them that you wanted to be replaced, and then trap themselves, and then they'll starve. Yeah, it'll make them fall down too. That one they probably would have actually hopped over to the tile next to it when it went to break, but it still would have trapped Gene and made the restrooms inaccessible. Alright, so one thing we need to do is... We need one of those restrooms online. Wait, no, I'm sorry. That's not how priority works in this game. It was higher priority is more important. Other way around. That way the restroom's functional. Okay, now I'm comfortable putting that back down there. And I'm deliberately not going to mine the oxalate. It gives you gradual oxygen on its own. But if you mine it, you get less. It becomes less efficient. Alright. So by making this an enclosed space, it becomes in a room. I don't think I have to have a wall built on that side so long as it's, you know, separated from the rest there. Where was the UI for rooms? Up here somewhere. Yeah, so that counts as a restroom. So now they get slightly more morale because it's a restroom as opposed to just a toilet in the middle of the room or in the middle of the map. All right, we'll start building a barracks. So we want to go to furniture. Yeah, all that stuff's gonna get torn up, so I'll just wait. Usually the first night, my people almost always end up sleeping on the floor. Now, one of the problems I have with this right now is oxygen's gonna get trapped on the top. The carbon dioxide's gonna go down. Actually, I didn't want to have that there. That's on me. I have to make what's referred to as a carbon dioxide trap because this game does simulate air. So if you look at that, you can see all that bright, kind of aqua-colored, really nice-looking air. And then those red spots are mostly carbon dioxide that's unbreathable. So you have to do the whole thing where, you know, you got to work with the air to try and make that manageable. The game's complaining because I have no air oxygen production built yet. I am going to have to get to that sooner or later. Very much in the sooner. Gonna dig this fairly far down to begin with. To just give myself more room for the carbon dioxide trap, because then I'll put my oxygen generation down here. But a lot of this game is around managing like temperature and where air's at and all that kind of stuff. Because right now, if I were to change nothing, this room would fill up with carbon dioxide first. And then a lot of the oxygen would end up in this pocket up here and be unreachable. It's one of the dangers of if you just start carving out a giant space before you have like your air pumped into individual rooms and all that. You can easily set yourself up where you just don't have air where you need, and your people have to like hold their breath running around the base and all that. Where's speed? There's speed.
Thank you Chillin_Spree for gifting a sub to Alpen112.
Thank you, Chillin Spree, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Alpen. Alpen, I hope you enjoy your advertisement previewing as well as access to the emotes. So thank you again, Chilling, for that, you know, additional support. It really does help, and thank you so much. Alright, one thing I do need to watch is what type of material I put. For example, I believe if I had just regular sand, the pressure from the water would eventually break the wall. Because they do have a concept of, like, air and water pressure in this game. Alright, so 1, 2... We'll dig that out. I am digging out more than I should be this fast, because by digging the space out with not having oxygen generation, the air pressure is getting lower. And the reason the air pressure is getting lower is because I have the same amount of air in less space, or in more space. And then this is going to be the oxygen generation area. For now. I'm not going to bother like making it a room. I don't believe there's any bonuses for that. Yeah, so the oxygen diffuser we use algae with. And we can do sublimation later. Oxygen diffuser requires power. Alright, so we should have a research bench. That's my intention for up here. Put the research bench there. Lock down a battery. Put in a generator. Wire it up. So we can get research going. So we got room for 5 cots in there once they actually get that all built out. For right now, I'll build power there. I vaguely recall the dupes, like it being like RimWorld, where they don't like the power cables. We can try and run in the walls. Like I want to say it has like a appearance penalty or whatever you want to say. Now make an extra bed. Oh, and here, lock it open, lock it open. Actually, don't lock that one open. And the reason I'm going to leave that one closing is so that the shine bugs don't as easily accidentally get in there. Because then when the shine bugs fly around our dupes, it'll make them annoyed because they're having a bright light shined in their face while they're trying to sleep. But yeah, as you can see, they're holding their breath down here. That's what that little purple bar is. And that's because if we go to our oxygen overlay, you can see this becoming a big pocket of carbon dioxide because carbon dioxide is heavier than oxygen. So that's the reason why I want my oxygen generation to be at the bottom, is because what I'll do is, like, this one doesn't matter as much, but there's, like, the little algae pool things that convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. I need the carbon dioxide to get down there so that they can then turn it into oxygen for it to go back up. That's also the reason why I made this more than one tile wide, is to give it enough room for a little bit better airflow. Ultimately, I like to try and make them 4 wide, where it's like ladder, down pull, space, space. Alright, I've achieved our first thing in the colony. We have at least 1 toilet and 1 bed for every duplicate. Yay. The colony requires a food source. You can produce low quality food. Yay, 1 toilet and 1 bed. And thank you, Tangerine Blade, so much for the 1,111 biddies. My mind immediately goes, well, first of all, thank you so much for the support. It does me a lot. My mind immediately goes to the Stanley Parable. They use 8, but just going up to pen going 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. For anyone who's never played the Stanley Parable, it's an absolutely fantastic game with a really good sense of humor. You just kind of walk around and do stuff and you get different endings. But, the narrator for it is amazing. But the fun is figuring out all the endings. So, like, every time you get any decision whatsoever is to, like, take decision A, take decision B, do literally nothing and just see how far, like, how long the narrator will put up with it. And actually, before I forget, let's go ahead. I'm going to go through the shoutouts. So first of all, a shout out for Tangerine Blade. Last scene, Twitch won't tell me what you were playing last. I see Inkbound, Humanity, and Bloons TD. I think the last thing I caught you playing was Humanity. That was a couple days ago, if I remember correctly. But thank you so much for dropping in, and you should check that out if any of those games sound like a good time to you. I'll get your local guru once the cooldown is over, and we got our next thing. Construct a building at start of your initial biome. I'm guessing down there. I'm also trying to go down right away so I can get this cool steam vent right away. Because that means infinite water. Because most of the materials, like just mining-wise, are limited. But that's where geysers come in. The geysers and volcanoes and that kind of stuff. That never stops having stuff. Like, it'll go idle for a while. But, you know, it is an infinite pool of resource. Because without the geysers, you would want to avoid releasing anything off the asteroid ever, if at all possible. You think you always had problems with CO2? Yeah, you have to manage oxygen CO2. The thing that usually gets me is air. Or not air, temperature. My apologies. Because temperature is one of those ones that sneaks up on you, so if I pull up the temperature gauge, like, all of it's pretty okay right now. It's a bit hot over there. That's really hot over there. Yeah, that temperature gets you. And then this is downright cold up here. But it does take the idea that, like, it will gradually, like, temperature will gradually, like, seep through things. So if I look down here, this is going to make a lot of heat in this space. But I want to say it's the abyssal light. I want to say abyssal light really does not allow heat to go through it very easily. If I'm doing a double wall of insulated tiles in the base with an airlock helps keep the living area stable. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly the kind of stuff you usually do. Especially when you have something that you recognize as a threat over here. Like, I want this. This is going to make heat, though. So it's a pro and a con. I will definitely have a double wall insulation between me and that. A lot of times they will actually surround this in, like, a double wall insulation. And just have a way to get the water out. Whether it's a pump or, like, some, like, little, vent kind of thing. For the record, I'm not like some Oni expert at all. Like, very much not. And how is our air distribution? Okay. So, for the moment, the living area is still pretty okay on oxygen. It's getting a little on the low end. But this high area is, like, good. But that's what we're getting down here for, is to get the oxygen set up. I want to get the research going, because once I get the research going, we can get better, more sustainable forms of air production. Because this thing I'm putting down here is good for balancing air pressure with your oxygen production, but is horrendously inefficient. You managed to get 312 hours in this? Oh, here, let me get that shout out for you before I forget. Shout out your local guru. Alright, and your local guru, another fantastic content creator, has been recently playing Doom 3, and also says has Dwarf Fortress on the schedule. So if either of those sound good, don't forget to pop in and check that out. I also keep calling out the schedules on people because people forget to update their schedules. And, like, very rarely people actually use that. Not often. So it's kind of a friendly, hey, don't forget the thing. Yeah, yours is pretty accurate. Yeah, that's actually a rarity. Now, one of the things I'm going to want to do is get all this junk off the floor, just like RimWorld and so many other games, where there's a bunch of junk on the floor. It makes people unhappy. Where is the decor overlay? So you notice it's all red there. The dupes go, it uggy. I don't like. That's because we got all this junk on the floor. Alright, let's start putting some priorities and stuff. Go ahead and priority 6 all those for right now. Get them built. And priority 6 to get that built. Get hydrate? Can do. Because we need to get food happening pretty soon. This game is really good that you notice I've got all these things on the side here. That you can go, here's things I care about, here's things I don't. I believe it's also smart enough that when certain things get low, that it will start giving you warnings. I'll be like, you know, when oxygen gets low, this will expand and be like, hey, just so you know, your oxygen isn't in a good place. Like, that's what's happening right here. It's saying, hey, your oxygen isn't good. Hey, your food isn't good. Oh, and we don't have research focus because we just built a research bench. Okay, well, this over here is new UI. I don't recognize that at all. So the first thing I'm going to go is directly into the food path, because that'll give me my thing for more sustainable oxygen. It'll also give me a planter that I can grow stuff in. So that's what I want to do right away. Now, it does require electricity, and our current electricity mode is to make Gene run in a hamster wheel. That is how we are dealing with the oxygen, or sorry, our power in our base, is Gene will run in a wheel, charge a battery, and then we use the battery to power things. You will make lice low forever. Nosh beans, which we don't have. Berry sludge, which we don't have. I can make mush bars if our food gets really bad. We can do that. Oh, he fell. Yeah, falling is okay as long as it's not too far. If they fall far enough, they will get hurt. But just a little falling is okay. Builds character. Alright, we can do the massage table. I'm not going to worry about that yet. We got the pitcher. We got the bottle empty here. I'm not going to need that right now. I'm not worried about the sublimation thing. So the next thing is going to be a room for storage. Now, big thing is I don't want to make anything lower than this room yet, unless I need to. And the reason I don't want to do that is if I make a room lower than this, the CO2 will tend to naturally get caught into that room. So I think the first time I expand this way... Ah, if I make the room the full height, that sand will fall through. That's fine. That's fine. We just won't make it the full height. Gonna punch through here. I believe that's oxalate. Yeah, so I could nick that one out. But I don't want to dig more than that, because if I pop that, then the water's going to dump in here, and it's going to be a whole thing. Eventually, I'm going to go take that water. But right now, I'm not going to worry about it. Yeah, so now this is producing air. So I put my oxygen overlay. You're going to see like I'm getting a little pocket of air here. It'll get around there naturally, build up over here. The carbon dioxide will push down. You get the idea. If the air pressure gets too high, the oxygen diffuser will turn off automatically, which is one of the benefits of it. Unfortunately, it uses algae as fuel. That's actually what's happening here, is it's saying max air pressure, so it's turning on and off quite a bit. That's okay. But that is one of the advantages of the air pressure thing. The downside is when it comes to algae efficiency, it burns through algae very quickly. So you use it to get by early on, but you want to get off of it pretty early. Like, it's okay to supplement stuff. Like, later on, you can manage all these things with different resources. I'm just working with, like, very limited options. Yeah, so you need, see when they get low in air, they need to catch their breath. They'll look for a little pocket of air. And you can actually see where you do and don't have air by just looking. Like, you see, like, this has, like, the light blue kind of appearing behind it. Versus this kind of, like, much more muddied looking because it's mostly carbon dioxide. Yeah, I think I'll put our storage down here. Ultimately, I'll make our farm up here somewhere. Got a really big pocket of metal there. That'll be nice. Not seeing any more obvious geyser locations, which isn't surprising. Usually I have to go out a little way. Oh, the person running on the hamster wheel is going to get ripped? Yep, they actually do, your dupes do have stats to them, for people who are new to this. There's the skills here. And one of those is athletics, and as well as operating. And it does go up from it. Okay. Every so often, we get to choose a blueprint. So my choices are, I can get new people. So I'm going to take the one with science and agriculture, because I don't have a person who can do agriculture. So we're going to do that. And they do have traits like in RimWorld and a lot of the other games where, like, this one, they're resistant to getting sick, but they can't research. And then they also have a stress reaction. Unlike RimWorld where it goes, okay, you're going to go fight someone or burn something down. These ones, they have a specific stress reaction where it says, this person, when they get stressed, they're going to break buildings. And then this one, when they get overjoyed, they're going to get extremely productive. So they have, like, you've made them super happy what they do, you've made them super unhappy, that's what they do. Alright, so it's gonna be Nikolai right here. Or Nicola. So let's go through here. We're gonna go schedule. Sorry, we're not gonna go schedule. We're gonna go to priorities. You're good at researching and you're good at farming, so you're gonna prioritize those. You're not bad at anything, so we're not gonna deprioritize anything. Looks like a Ross Goku knockoff. Excellent. I'm trying to remember with the schedule. So they've got that. Add a new schedule. I thought because I can't remember if this game has the equivalent of a night owl or not. Alright, well we finished our research, so let's deal with that first. So all the dupes have themselves a little clap. They're like, yay! We're not gonna die today. Little do they know. So we have the crafting station. Crafting station? I don't remember the crafting station as a thing. We have the pharmacy, we have stuff where I can move water around, move air around. Things that make my place look nicer. Okay, well out of all that, I just still want more food stuff. We have power that's automated, but that spews out lots of CO2, the coal generator. Which it's fine once you can manage that, but I can't manage it yet, so we're not gonna do it yet. Alright, so that unlocked the algae terranium. We're gonna put one of those down. We're gonna put 2 of those down, actually. We're gonna have compost pile. This creates polluted dirt. Not gonna worry about the polluted dirt yet. A ration box, which I already have. I'm not building another one. And then we got the planters. I'm gonna hold off building the planters. And the reason for that is very, very soon I'm gonna get like blocks I can put on the ground to plant stuff. That you can then like later you can pipe water through the blocks. Basically, it can make it take less space. And then later you can automate it. Yes, that's pretty hot air over there. Okay, so the thing I wanted to check is I don't remember there being an equivalent of a night owl. Nice map, good layout. I don't honestly know what's really good with, like, good or what ours. So let's clear all that out. So you had the 3 hours there. And you have your downtime. Yeah, I don't remember. Let's see. During work shifts is important scheduling maintenance, good thing, balance between the good. There's no dial trade. Dupes don't really care about schedule. That's what's like, I don't remember that being a thing. Because I remember it was a thing I would end up doing is I would take dupes and deliberately put them on different schedules. So I think what I would usually do is I would end up having 3 schedules is what I used to do. And then the reason I would do that is I could keep people working at all times, but having a little bit of overlap on the schedules. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Because also having them not sleep at the same time lets them effectively share beds, if I remember correctly. Gotcha. Okay, so there's no negative, but there is a benefit if someone has one of those traits. I see. I don't think any of them had those traits. I'm trying to remember where those are. Okay, so you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Alright. There is a morning person night now, that's right. I use schedules so my dupes don't all go to the toilet at the same time. Yeah, that's what I was remembering, is I remember it being a thing that I would stagger the schedule. It's probably one of those things that, you know, 2-3 schedules is probably plenty early on. But then, you know, like when you start getting to a place that you actually have a really decent number of dupes going on, then maybe it makes more sense to like have, you know, the full 4. And then once you get 4, like I believe that fully fits the schedule where you have everyone in rotation taking breaks and all that. Now granted, I guess technically you could still add more schedule and just have like the rest period and like the sleep not overlap or stuff like that. But it's usually not the same. You can realistically set up 4 schedules in a day if you overlap the end of the bathroom and the start of the downtime and vice versa. You also keep schedules based on showers and toilets. Yeah, they're a bottleneck. That's like the whole thing, is you have to have enough to deal with it, because otherwise your dupe stands there and panics and then they pee themselves. Not even joking. That is literally what they do. Now we're gonna start building storage over here. Eventually I'll have someone whose entire job will be just like sweeping and hauling stuff around. Alright, where was the thing? There's somewhere in here it shows you how many calories of food. Alright, so this is saying that my breathable air isn't what it should be. There's somewhere here. Oh, there it is. There's the kcals. That's showing me how much food I got available to eat. I have 17,000 food. And for right now, I'm not going to bother organizing these. Later, they'll get organized. But you notice all the oxalate I had that was giving me like traces amounts of oxygen? That slowly goes away. It kind of loses mass as it does that. And when mass hits too low, it disappears. Okay, so we got farm tiles now. I want to move this water someplace else. Alright, that gives us some storage. Okay, so furniture, we have a mess hall, so I can build that. Where do I want to shove the mess hall? We'd shove it over here. I'm gonna shove it over here for right now. There's a thing that gives me the room requirement information, right? The mess hall. So a great mess hall needs to be at least 32 tiles. Okay. So we go up 4. Yeah, so it's already bigger than... I'm just gonna go for the whole size. That's probably a waste and I probably shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna. There you go, mess hall. And that'd be more enough for right now. And then food-wise, got the electric grill and all that. Alright, so it did look like there was a kitchen. I didn't remember there being a kitchen tile, but that's okay. Oh, right. If I remember correctly... Oh, never mind, that doesn't have priority. May as well go standard size, unless you plan to grow hatches. Well, that was the thing. It had the sizes that it said it could be. It was to make sure I was going to keep it within those sizes. Because I'm pretty sure that was within the 120, right? Yeah. So it was within the size range. I didn't really need to make it that big. I probably could have cut it off like right there and made like a mini mess hall. That could still be grand or whatever. But, it's probably a mistake that I'll probably pay for, but you know. You've got to make those. Go ahead and put that there for later. You have to pick up this game? Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. Alright, so we're not making enough oxygen. So the thing I need to figure out is where I'm taking the polluted water. That's a catch. Because that's all that polluted water over there. It off-gasses germs and all that. That can be a real problem. It can get your colony in a lot of trouble. I haven't had a colony fail because of polluted water, but I've definitely had it get in bad places because of it. Need to get the farm online in not too long. Put the farm here. Probably what I'm gonna do. Alright. Yeah, now I'd definitely say it's probably like RimWorld. Play it without the DLC first. If you're really jamming with it, get the DLC. There's a lot of games that's true. Like there's some games that when you first start playing, it's like, no, just get the DLC. There's no reason not to. This isn't one of those. Alright, so I am building way too much, way too fast. I'm just expanding more than I probably should. You like the DC, this idea, but locking tech behind rad stuff was a bummer. Yep, I don't know anything about any of that, so we'll figure that out. So that'll be our farm for now. We got this standard speed is messing with you. Oh, do you always play on fast forward? I'm just having to try and remember a lot of things. Oh, I need to have research. So that's the higher technology required. You know, start going for that for the advanced research. I haven't played in so long though. I just like I don't remember half the stuff. Damn, 3 times speed and pause to build layout stuff and then crank it when the design is waiting to be done. Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna speed up a bit though, because I think we're at the point of just waiting for stuff to get going. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm doing with that polluted air soon. Would be why I went up with cycle 400 and still haven't really progressed much. You get so nervous about speed 3 that I'm going to burn something or blow something up. For me, the big problem with going way too fast is generally keeping an eye on that temperature, because that temperature sneaks up on you. I've lost a number of runs because just, you know, temperature slowly started building and I didn't notice it till it escalated. You know, and then you're like on the back foot going, how do I fix this? Because I don't have too many places I can heat dump yet. Good spot to dump water temporarily is any deep hole that you have, unless you pre-built water storage tank for long-term use. No, that's the thing. Looks like it's slowly creeping up. Oh, it does. Like, that's the thing. There's very little that will permanently stop heat. It's, you need things to slow the rate that heat moves, and then some way to get rid of heat. You have to do, like, a little A, little B. And there's lots of strategies for doing that. Many of them, I don't know. Alright, so we got research. Put a water cooler in our mess hall. And crafting station. This I don't recognize. That's new to me. Let's see real fast. Is there a crafting room of some kind? Stable, greenhouse, power plant, hospitality, kitchen, great hall, blah, 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 blah. It does not appear there's a special thing for crafting. They're just going to go here and go stations. Crafting station, and just going to plunk... Oh, you need power. I deliberately don't want to put it in there. Right now I'm going to put that up there, and we'll just run the power. It'll be an inefficient way of running the power, but I'm just going to deal with it. Crafting is new for the gas mask thing, I think. I didn't know there was a gas mask thing. Which that's not me saying, like, don't backseat or anything. That's fine. I was just basically saying, like, you said things. I don't know what they mean. I can parse. I believe it's a mask you're talking about that allows you to go into areas that don't have oxygen. So it's like holding your breath but way longer. Yeah, no. I'm not saying you're backseating. Like, it's very cool. You're very fine. You'll leave that alone. Tutorial for atmosphere suits. Okay. Yep. The atmosphere suits are things you grab a suit, you walk to your side and all that. Why? Alright, let's deal with this. Where are we going? I just forgot I have to go back to the bench. Oh. Duplicate skills. So Mary here has gained a skill. Alright, so Mary is currently good at construction and excavation. Right now... I'm gonna go with construction. Digging is probably be the more immediately useful one. That's fine. Nicola here. Nicola here is our researcher slash farmer. I'm going to have them start with the research because I'm going to want some of these R1s later. Alright, where was your thing about recipes? That's what I'm trying to remember. It's got the icon for recipes, but I'm not seeing the recipes here. No workable order. Am I thought there was a button down here and stuff that's like just like this thing. You click on that, and I have the recipes here. Oh, I think what's saying is I don't know how to make anything. Like I have the bench to make things, but I don't currently have, like I don't know how to make a thing at the bench. Now let's see. Yeah, I never built a craft station until it was to the suits, and then I don't need them anymore. Gotcha. Oh, you need to do this, then that, then this, then that, to press cure. Yeah, like that kind of thing would be like, hey, wait a second, come on. We don't get that too much. I only, like, most of the time it ends up being just a thing of being like, hey, you know, like, you know, someone's starting to get a little far and they're like, all right, rein it in. Usually people don't have a problem. Have you tried Lens Island? I did, I think, the demo way back. And it seemed fun enough. At the time I tried it, there wasn't a whole lot there. Like, it was, what was there was good, but, you know, there wasn't much of it, is how I would state it. Displaying the new update? Yeah. I saw there's a few other people. I think it was Arch Play stuff I caught doing Lens Island. We'll grab that now. Go towards the toilets and all that. A few changes and more content. Nice. You know, I generally enjoyed it. Get ready for a whole lot of meal seed. Alright, you have yourself a good work, your local guru. Thanks for dropping by. Seems like your style of game and all that. Yeah, no, I had a generally good time with it. I can remember that much. Okay, so dealing with food is a priority 7. Dealing with air is a priority 7. Dealing with research, priority 6. Alright, it's trying to tell me about scheduling. It's telling me that my research is complete. Oh, this is my last research. So I got a telescope. I can't reach anything to telescope with it. We have the skill scrubber and the supercomputer. The supercomputer is for more research. Oh, some more people gain skills. So we have Jean, who is good at a lot of things. But the only thing they're passionate about right now is supplying, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Which is just them carrying stuff around. Base building, we got a mini pod. What are you? Portable bioprinter that produces new duplicates and care package. Oh, so I could just like, if I wanted, I could take this down and move it someplace else. That's interesting, I guess. I can't remember. Can I queue stuff? I think I can queue stuff. Or not. Alright, okay, so from here... So we got basic plumbing stuff. I'm not going to use any of this yet, the new plumbing stuff, but I have it. The thing I need to do is get our new research station going. Because that'll unlock the more advanced research. We are starting to get our polluted air down there, so I'll definitely need to get that. I believe that's refinement. That could put a thing for cleaning our air up here, so that all the air that goes through there. And actually, for that matter, what I can do is block some of that in. Bear with me, chat. I need to deal with my nose, so I'm going to slow down time just a little bit and take care of that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Was just having the tickle on the nose going, oh, I have to actually click the plant button, don't I? I vaguely recall, can I, wait, was it that I could select a bunch of them? No. And the mealwood's the easiest to grow. If everything was the same, it like has like the minimum requirements for food, which is why I'm planting it. The dupes don't like it. They'll eat it, but it is very unsatisfactory food. Okay, so choose a blueprint. They can give us brine water that I don't care for. Okay, this works out because I can make this person exclusively do farming and then the other one do research. Because the other ones I don't really need that much. And in colony skills, you are kind of just all over the place. I think I'll probably have you tidy. And you're farming. Alright, so let's go and take a look at our schedules and all that. So Ari, welcome to Schedule 2. Turn off the alarms for everyone since everyone has their own schedules on when they sleep and all that. So that should be fine. We can go to priorities. Got more research done. Okay, so now I can start doing fancy research. So let's see. All sorts of stuff under power that'd be useful. Rock art. Inefficiently produces refined metals from raw resources. Okay. You make the sick bay. I'm gonna make the sink and all that because I'm gonna start working towards setting up proper plumbing because that makes this less laborious and it makes the dupes like it more. So it goes towards that direction. Insufficient oxygen generation. Okay. Yeah, so the electrolyzer converts water into oxygen hydrogen. If you want to have a temp dirty water storage, don't forget research tanks. Yeah, I remember doing that. Being like, here's a material I don't want to deal with right now. Okay, I'm just gonna shove them all in tanks. Like, honestly, I think the dirty water is gonna go over here. I'm just putting it off. I also just thought about just digging down, just dumping into this pit, which isn't really a bad idea, actually. That actually looking like a pretty good idea. For temporary storage. Get a bunch of our metal out of here. Oh, I'll have to do this in phases, won't I? So cancel that row, mine it all out, and then do that row. And then what I'll do is I'll put the little spigot for dumping out polluted water over here somewhere and just dump it into the hole. They are researching way faster than I remember them researching. Liquid rocket port unloader. Oh yeah, I remember I want the water sieve. We want that early on. Because the water sieve will turn dirty water into clean water at the cost of, I believe, sand. Now, downside is this is going to catch a lot of our carbon dioxide, which is going to make this work not as well. But yeah. You'll need a manual refinery if you plan to set up automation too. I always forget that. You'll need a manual refiner. Oh, yeah. The thing where you can crush rocks into metal? Is that what you're talking about? Alright, so we did accidentally cut a block of oxalate up. It's fine. It's already cut up. I can't uncut it up. Oh yeah, now I've set up a lot of the automation. I've had some pretty big colonies in the past, but like where people have figured out ways to like make infinite power or infinite whatever, but like just having certain mechanics where the rounding of it works in your favor and that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that I don't know. Alright, so I'm not gonna worry about those ones up in the corner because I'm not gonna be able to reach them anyway, so who cares? Yeah, so those are tiles I can build on that let water travel through. We have showers and all that. We have a sink. Oh man, I remember making bases where like I'd give them like a room that every dupe would have their own room with a bed, you know, a shower, a toilet, and everything. Like really just living the good life. That's way too complex for me. I was not able to set up a steam engine. Oh, I set up a steam engine. I've done that. Alright. Actually, let's put it all the way up there. And we can go to research. Look, I'm just gonna click on that and just start researching. Because it's researching so fast, I don't have. Separates mud and other sludges into their base elements. Dupes. Okay, that's something I don't know. The gas filter. The liquid filter. So I can take sludge and I can make it into other stuff. That is a big machine. What are your byproducts before I build you? Like how concerning. So you produce a decent amount of heat. You have a decent power consumption. You have a liquid output pipe. What do you output though? I assume you output polluted water is gonna be my guess, right? You put out a lot of heat at that's +4. What does the battery put out? Oh, it's actually not that much heat. Okay. Okay, I was looking at this thinking the K whatever was like a huge amount. Alright, for right now, I'm just gonna slam that thing down there because I don't know where else to put it. And we'll run a line. I don't know if I have sludge, but we're gonna find out. I can look through the whole list here, but I figured something to keep around. I can turn it off if I don't need it, and then if I do need it, we can deal with that later. Okay, so it has a water output pipe. So we'll just go like this, drop it over here, plunk it there, and there's the output. That's another way I'm looking to go. That's also another way. Alright, come on, man. What button do you want me to push? There you go. Meanwhile, let's go to our priorities. So, you're getting pretty good at carrying stuff. And you're tidying. So congratulations, that's your job. Gene, you run around and carry things. Congratulations to the rest of your life. And I'll make tidying number 1. So, liquid, polluted water. There we go, priority. Make that 7 for the moment. So it's going to dump all that down there, and we'll put the air cleaning stuff up here. So that way, as the gas rises, we clean it up there. The jumbo battery would be a nice improvement over this thing. Oh, I can uproot that. We'll definitely want to grab that soon. I remember being able to find... Yeah, you just look for a stripe that's cold in a hot area. Otherwise, you just have to try and spot it. Because the whole gist of that ground underneath these is because they just don't absorb temperature. That's fine. Like, they're extremely resistant. Okay. So they've got you set up, and you have no workable recipes right now. Alright. How about... Where was the turn it off thing? Turn on your priority... Oh, yeah, there was, I remember a thing like that being... Like, the priority overlay, where was that? Here. Yeah, I can't remember if they show if they're still blocked, though. Yeah, no, I remember someone showing me, and I won't do, like, the cheat way around it, but there's a way you can, like, literally guarantee you know where they're at. Like, I think it's you, I think it was, like, telling your dupes to move someplace or whatever. There was a way to make that so it would show them. Alright. So we got plenty of air. Our air pressure is tanking. And part of that's because you're not producing any air because there's no CO2. So, alright. That's going to keep increasing the air pressure, which is going to get the CO2 going down. These are going to make more air. Change priority level. I think it might. There probably is like 2 or 3 ways to solve it. But yeah, there was a way that wasn't priority. There was another way that there was a thing you could do that you click and drag and it would show you just what you're looking for. All right, did the apothecary to make medicine. Not worry about that right now. Okay, 'cause the thing I got going on right now is the air is getting very thin up here. Just I've been making my space too big too fast. So it's just the air pressure keeps going down. This'll fix the air pressure here over time. I need more airflow is also another thing that's going on. I really can't do that easily. Like what I'd do normally is I'd put another area over here to have 2 routes for the air to take up and down. But that goes to our water reservoir, so that's not really an option. I mean, I guess I could do it for part of it. Move that one away 1. Are there no air vents? There are. Maybe add air generation near the crafting station. So the problem is, I mean, I could put one of these up here, the oxygenator thing. Furniture. Thing's a big thing. Prevents. We have to go through the air generation system. Yeah. But this will, well, okay. I don't want to go that way because then that's another way for polluted air to get around. So for right now, I get a little bit of circulation here. Hey! Thank you so much for the raid. Is that Justice TV? Let me go ahead and get you a shout out. Looks like you're playing some Oxygen Not Included. I do hope you had yourself a good stream, and thank you for the follows and for blowing up the chat and all that. I am Rual Storge, who play variety games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Project Zomboid. Actually, first, before we get into that, how was your stream? And thank you for all those follows. How was your stream? Did you have a good time? I haven't played Oxygen Not Included in almost 2 years, so I'm working all of the rust off. Yep, doing some learning, so I figured we'd raid someone who was doing some early building. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm very rusty. Oh, I could have this door open. Go ahead and open the door. Alright, we got our research done. Yep. But, I am Rual Storge. I do play a variety of games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Project Zomboid, where I used to hold the world record for the highest kill count run ever streamed at 135,121 zombies killed on 1 character, 1 life on hard apocalypse settings with no mods that change itemization or vehicles. So that's kind of my claim to fame. That record has been beaten, but I do play a variety of games here on Twitch, including city builders, colony builders, settlement builders, tycoons, roguelikes, roguelites, action RPGs, a whole mess of variety. So if any of that sounds, and simulation, if any of that sounds like your jam, maybe drop a file, that way you can find your way back in the future. Yeah, so this is actually my first day back to doing some Oxygen Not Included in almost 2 years since the last time I played. So I am trying to remember how to do a lot of things. Alright, let's go to the research where it's just like, I don't feel like selecting it all. And see about prioritizing a few more things. Because I was like, I don't want to think about it. Just click the thing. Because what I'm looking for is the air filtering one. Because since I've last played, they've rearranged everything on me. Which is fine. But it's leaving me going, where do I find that again? Yeah, I do need that. I need that. We'll get that knocked out. Then they'll figure out the next thing. Where is the air filtering? It's under gases, right? Ah, there it is. Decontamination. Okay, so get that done, then we'll do decontamination. Because I'm going to have my poo pit here that we're definitely going to want to have some decontamination above that. Or things are going to get real bad real fast. So right now, so far as the area we have around me, we've got cool little steam geyser over here we definitely want to take advantage of. I'll probably want to have insulated tiles before I get messing with that too much so I don't cook my entire colony alive. Because I've absolutely done that a number of times. I vaguely remember there being a turn this off button. But I guess it doesn't matter. It's not using power while it's not doing anything. They've changed so much about the game that, like, the crafting bench was just not a thing that I remember. So it's just like all that because I was like, what are you? Why are you here? What's happening? Alright, got a new printable. Okay, we can get a snazzy suit. I already have someone who's really good at science. I don't have a good excavator. I'm going to regret going this hard on dupes this early, because there's going to be a lot of people to feed. Yeah, you don't need to complain about beds. I got scheduling. Then go schedule. Congratulations, Turner. Welcome to the third schedule. Let's go to the priorities and get that all sorted out. So, Turner, buddy. You dig. That's what you do. You dig. Alright, so I need to let the air pressure build up. I'm expanding too fast, so the air pressure is getting too low. That's just because I have that one thing going. It keeps hitting max air pressure because the pressure down here is higher. Don't they have a thing for the air pressure? I thought they did. It's fine. Yeah, so the air pressure is getting very, very low up there. I needed to get that. I'm like, oh, it's all good. I think I am going to go ahead and do... I was trying to avoid putting the diffuser up here. But I think we're going to do that. It should already have power right next to it, so... Because I need to get more air pressure happening up here. Because it's not that I'm losing air pressure in regards to, like, the amount of air is going up because of the diffuser down here. It's just not going as fast enough as I am expanding the cave. Which means the air pressure is going down because it's the same amount of air in a much larger space. But it is a problem I gotta deal with. Oh, I haven't seen this game for a hot minute. Yeah. The last time I played in this was almost a year, like, almost 2 years ago. Not like, it's over a year and a half, under 2 years, somewhere in that ballpark. We played a couple streams of it. Had a good time. Alright. So. Priority. Get you on 6 to keep you operating. Actually, 7. We've been doing that down here. 7 on the air protection. Yeah, it sounds about right. Yep. Alright, because we gotta fix that air pressure. Last you played it was 4 years ago, and I saw Juice play it a bunch and got back into it yesterday. Nice. Yeah, the games I got going right now is we've got a RimWorld run going that we've been doing a super duper cold desert that Randy has been an absolute colossal jerk. Out of my 4 growing seasons, which again being a cold tile is very, very short, he's cold snapped 4 of them. 3 of them like right in the middle, so I missed both the first and the second half of the growing season. The last one, it was like he hit it right at the end, so it actually wasn't that bad. But it was like, this isn't even that supposed to be that like challenging of a situation, but Randy is just being a punk. Alright, so we're gonna need better power generation here. Doesn't put it off because, well, actually, nah, it's fine. Biggest change I don't like in Oni was the deal with the air purifier. What they changed about the air purifier? Because the old one, I think you put clay in it, if I remember correctly. Is there clay or sand or something in it? And just people had to empty it from time to time. They need power now. Oh yeah, that doesn't bother me much. Like, power's a problem at the moment, but we'll get there. The big thing I need to do is pretty soon I'm gonna start. I'll probably go in here and like put a set of tiles, like insulation tiles, the whole way around this space, because that'll be like our living space. And that way our industry can be all out here and overheating everything and awful. I don't really have a way to sink a bunch of heat right now. So if we start overheating, we just need to not start overheating. Which we shouldn't be anywhere near overheating concerns. Like, that's a concern. That's the reason I'm not gunning for that right away, even though I like the geyser. That could get bad real fast. Oh, so we do have a natural gas geyser over there, so that'll be good for power generation later. Alright, that's good. Okay, so I can get power over here, and I get water over there. But I am going to have to manage heat on both of those. And right now I don't have a particularly good way of managing heat. There, just have a bunch more storage. We're just going to keep chucking everything in there. Tidying our place up. That increases the work speed. So put a light over that. Just adding yet another thing for our people to struggle with keeping powered. Poor Jean and Nicola. Their existence is running on that thing. Until such time that we hook up coal or natural gas. Some probably coal will be the first one. Even though it's horrendously bad for heat. Alright, we've almost got our sieve made, so we can start turning the gross water into not gross water. Maybe put the sieve over here. Alright, Nicola's gained a skill point. I'll get field research first, because I got those geysers. Then we got Turner. Turner is our excavator, so we're definitely going to have you focus on digging. So you can dig that. You're sold on Oni? Oh, Oni's fantastic. Absolutely. Alright, our food is getting a little low. I do need to just get this water out here, but I don't want to really mix the water, like the fluids as much as possible. And the problem I'm running into is if I dig down there, then I gotta deal with the geyser's heat. Alright, so I got that research. The next research I want to do is I want the air filter. Because like I said, that's one of those ones that if I don't get ahead of it, the whole place is going to get full of all sorts of awful. We can get the water sieve set up to start taking this polluted, gross, gross poo pit and, move it someplace else. Or rather, start making it to clean water. We've been working for 3 weeks straight. I need something relaxing. Yeah. I was sitting there thinking, like, is Oni relaxing? I'm like, yeah, I guess it is. The dupes can sometimes be really, really dumb. Like, really, really dumb. Just don't pump the sieved water in with the pure water. Yeah, because of the germs. The sieve will not clean germs. It will make it not polluted. I remember you have to, like, put it in water tanks and then have, like, I think it's chlorine in the area will naturally clean it of germs. Which I think, yeah, we got chlorine down here. Because remember I would take a room and I would, like, put a lot of chlorine, like I'd put a lot of chlorine air pressure in there. And then it would have, like, a bunch of the water storage and all that, and I'd just make sure to run water through the chlorine room. Because, like, weirdly, even though it's contained, unless they changed it, it used to be you could have the tank in a room with chlorine, where the tank is enclosed, and yet, by the magic, the germs go away. I don't know how or why, but it just works. I can put the water processing over here. That'd be a good place for it. It only cleans in the tank? Yeah, that should be tall enough. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to dig out this space over here on the left. Yeah, this thing is just going absolutely full bore to keep it. How is the oxygen now? Alright, so we're still struggling a bit. I'm gonna let that go, even though that thing is super algae inefficient. We pause. Well, actually, don't need pause. When it goes screen, it'll pause. Alright. Oh, you're already doing it. That's fine. We have refinement. That's fine. We have ventilation stuff. We have the airlock. That'll be good. Okay. And I need that to be there. Because that'll allow the oxygen being produced to, like, get out easier. Sometimes I've gone in and put, like, little holes in the edges there. The problem is, if I remember correctly, if I look at this, wasn't it decor? Oh, no, it doesn't affect it. There's some reason I didn't put airflows everywhere. I can't remember what the negative was from them. I know they use metal, which is more costly. But there was, like, maybe they used to be a penalty to decor for having a vent tile? I can't remember. Because otherwise I can, like, literally just put the tiles along here to let the air, like, seep down and seep up. Oh, that's right. No, it's the pollution would go up as well. So you require copper. You just require sandstone. Airflows work well. Just don't put them in your chlorine room or you'll have half a mushroom farm. Need to hold it. Yeah. Now I remember the air vent problem was just literally the polluted air just getting everywhere versus trying to keep it mostly contained. Like later on when you start setting up like the whole area to be filtered and all that, you stop caring about that kind of thing. Alright. Trying to think of still how I want to deal with this. One of my thoughts is to dig straight down here with the ladder. And then just, you know, go through, punch a hole in this side, drain it into this area, and like pocket it down there as best I can. But I'm really worried about punching into this abyssite, like really wanting to avoid that, especially until I have the insulation tiles. Because I want to make sure I contain my living space inside insulation tiles as best we can. That way, if we get super cold or super hot outside, we can deal with it. I mean, I think like the cutoff would be around here is where I had insulation tiles, so that this is the hot space down below because I'm processing everything. We'll move stuff around. All right. In the meanwhile, refinement. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, then you only need just a little bit of heat management inside your base because you won't be generating much heat inside here. Yeah. Alright, so our food is also getting really low real fast, which is a problem. And that's still also boiling down to this, because that's what I plan to put there, is I plan to put, like, another farm here. I could dump all that water in there. I don't like mixing materials if I don't have to, though. Okay, I'm putting off what I know I need to do. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna run this down here. Ready to carve out that much space here. Actually carve out a little bit more there. you think it's more challenging to make larger bases without small base block using suits and everything? Yeah, so that should all be metal. And honestly, I can punch a hole right there and just dump it in there and make it someone else's problem. That's what we're doing. That's how we're dealing with this. We're not going to go and make this all elegant and do all that. We're just going to dig in here and just make a little spot for that to go down there. We're going to take all that water and just dump it down into this room. Now we got a stretch. I'll go ahead and get that going. So just doing my hand stretches. Keep away that carpal tunnel. All that good stuff. Alright. And I also don't want to punch through here because again, this is the gross air area. And in just a moment, I will get the thing to filter that, so I can put a filter here and here. And it should keep all the bad air down there, and good air up here. If you don't drown all the wild plants, they make a good natural preserve. Yeah. I'm more concerned about fixing my food than the natural preserve at the moment. Alright, for the moment, since I don't feel like figuring stuff out, we'll just say, start working on that. Okay, so the deodorizer will put one here and one there. Uses water to filter carbon from the air. We'll worry about that later. Mechanized airlock, and now you can go to power. And get that hooked up. Not sure how high the water will go. Yeah, we'll see, because I'm going to drain that one. I'll probably end up draining this one too. But if it does get rid of the plants, I actually don't care. I haven't really needed the nature preserve to deal with morale ever, because normally I end up like putting art in all the rooms so all of the rooms look amazing. Okay, so I can get a bunch of muckroot. I already have people to do science. I don't have a medical person, but I think I'm gonna take the muckroot for right now, since we have been worrying about food, and I am kind of pushing what I can handle, like just as far as having lots of dupes for what infrastructure I've got built. You can also dig out a little below the lower, the water area to the bump. Where am I? Let's see. You could also dig out a little below the lower water area, since that's the bottom of the right cooler zone anyways. Yeah. Yeah, and I could do that. Like, right now, I'm just going to dump the water in there for right now. Because even if those plants drown, if I make a big open room and we get, what is it, the pip whatever they are, the ones that plant the seeds automatically, and I just get it and, like, cut it loose in there with the seeds, it'll eventually make me a preserve area. Alright. You have a good work day, chillin'. Yeah, the second half will probably be RimWorld. I'll probably pick up where we left off there. Okay, so grabbed a little clay. The power's struggling. Alright, so I'm probably going to need to put a second battery on here. I also need more power production. Furniture. Excellent. Because of that, it's time to art. We're going to start with the bedroom. You go here, sculpt. We'll start with that. Now put our crown molding. Because I never have a shortage of sandstone. But I usually will do this for like every single room, no matter where you go the place looks at least relatively okay. Because that'll help keep everyone's morale up by just having beautiful spaces everywhere they go. If an algae distillery turns slime into algae, I don't have slime yet, so I don't need to worry about that. We can go ahead and do the compost, because that'll turn our polluted dirt into clean dirt. And you can set up the water sieve, which will clean up this and give us not polluted water. It'll be germ-filled water, but it'll be not polluted. I'm going to low priority this one, though, because that's not going to be an urgent matter. And eventually we'll do stuff like we'll have a room where I deodorize stuff, where I'll just pump all the gross air into the room, deodorize it in that room, pump all the clean air back out of it, go through that whole procedure. Alright, and that gave us... We already had crown molding in all this game. Okay, sure, that's fine. Alright, so long commutes. We have someone who's gone a lot of time. The travel time. Turner's the one with the most travel time. I believe Turner is our mining person, which is just they're going this whole way. And some of the other ones are just this ladder, this main corridor is becoming a bit lengthy of a travel time. Eventually we'll make it a plastic ladder that'll go faster on, and we'll put in a fireman's pole so they go down real quick as opposed to having to like run up and down. How are we doing with our air? That's not our air. Okay, so things are improving. I do have the problem here. This is becoming a CO2 trap over here, which is not what we want. But this is also our polluted airspace, so we don't want to give it away around. Alright, we got skill point attribute increases. Alright. So you're our builder right now. So be better at building. Alright, our food calories going up. Got another person with a skill point. That's Gene. I believe Gene is our supplier slash tidier slash all that. Yeah, we'll just be better at supplying. Why do you keep setting those? It keeps updating these and being like, ah, those are the new thing. When I've already done that. It is going through more research though, right? Oh, weird. No, it's not. Like they're doing the research, but it keeps flagging again and again that they finished that one. Because they're working on the next one, but it's not done yet. Which actually, go to research. Just do that. That doesn't hit as many as I want. Alright, bioengineering, there's a better food quality thing. Battery module. Steam power. So, yeah, so steam power is going to get picked up. Steam power is the ones we want, because I'll be able to use this for steam power. And actually, before we get way too far, do we have the insulation tiles in here? Where were those? Solid material, maybe? That's a conductive tiles. Where were the insulated tiles? Here. Because I'm going to need those pretty early on as well. Because then what I can do is out here, I can make my layer of double insulated tiles. Put that down here as well. Actually, with that. Okay. Put our double insulated tiles here. Actually, go ahead and cancel all this. We'll put our double insulated tiles down here. That'll be the bottom of our room there. Keep the warmth of all this out. We will put double insulated tiles over here somewhere, and up here somewhere, to try and keep our living quarters and our farm enclosed inside, and all the heat can be elsewhere. And we can start trying to manage pockets of heat and all that all over the place. Yeah, realistically, I can move stuff like the battery out down here or some other location. I just want to really keep the living quarters, the farm, and the mess hall and all that in an area where I can control the temperature much easier. Got all this cold stuff up here. You'll notice some of this is melting, which is pretty typical, because what ends up happening is naturally the map tries to equalize temperature over time. That's just the way these things work. And there's just things that help resist it from going too fast and all that. Yeah, I'll get there eventually. Where's Turner? Are you my no, you're the person who tidies. Who was our person who does the mining? No, it is you, Turner. Why aren't you mining more? Is it just too far of a walk? No, because she's doing it. Alright. It looks like they're doing a pretty good job of keeping things tidied up. Like, we got all the junk that's piled in these rooms tied up. They're still working on these ones, because they've been doing construction, but that'll be fine. They don't have a dedicated artist yet. Let's not worry about putting the crown molding. The toilets are going to be tall enough that'll be a problem. Alright. Not too much fire before I cut the hole and just let the water drop in. That's fine. I don't have refrigeration, so it's not like I can refrigerate the food yet. Alright, skill point. More tidying. I'm looking... Yeah, I'm looking at the right person. Okay. And the moment we punch through... Actually, I'm going to make it too wide. The moment we punch through that area down there, then we'll, you know, cut through this area, let that start draining, cut to the next area, start draining. I don't want to try and punch it all out at once, because that could be problematic. Cool. So with that, let's go ahead and carve right across the top of that. get that second growing area in place before we start having starvation problems. Alright, we have things for dealing with heat and cold, and the insulated tile. Alright, so one of the things I was never good about is going into different materials and choosing. Right now I just have sandstone, so we're going to use sandstone. Alright, so where do I want the cutoff? You're going to be insulated tile. You're going to be insulated tile. Don't worry about making another layer in a minute. Alright, you got a skill. You're a farming person, keep farming. Internet. For the Steam demo fest, didn't you play Planet of Lana? With the black cat creature? I believe so, yeah. I know I played Planet of Lana, I can't remember if it was that game, like that you're describing. I believe that is correct, though. I played a lot of games. Like a lot of games. That I do not remember what a lot of them were. Alright, that'll let them cut through so you don't have to go the whole way around anymore. So at that point, do that. Just start draining them all down. Okay. Interestingly, we did research. So they're modules. Okay, so we can get some oxalate for free air. So you're max piloting. Which would be nice when we get to that point. I still think for the moment, we don't take more dupes until we have, like, our food more stabilized and all that. That's annoying. Yep, so draining all that water down here. It is going to kill these plants, which is unfortunate. But, you know, it is what it is. But that'll open up this space for another farm. And meanwhile, I can go in here. And keep building our insulated walls. Try and keep the gross water out. Or the heat out, not the gross water. That's nothing to do with water. Alright, so that's done draining, so we'll mop it up. Frankly, mop that up as well. And we can go over here. And add a place to have our clean water that's bottled be dropped in. This also means it's time for us to deconstruct that. Alright, so we got missing research station. No research center? What? That appears to be a lie game. Alright, because now I can go. Let's see. Build a manual airlock here. To again, try and keep as much of the heat down there versus up here. This does mean I could probably turn off one of these. Let's disable that building. Because the amount of air going back and forth through should be much lower then. Oh, I already have a problem with this. My air production is down there. We're going to cancel building that. We have to move. Yeah. You love this game's thermodynamics? Yeah. So what I'm going to end up having to do is this air, I'm not going to be able to separate it out completely until we start pumping air in and out. That's fine. We'll get there. Keep mopping that up. Cancel all around there. Alright, so that's done draining there anyways. So I'm going to deconstruct this section of ladder. Because then we're going to close this whole area off. Because again, I'm putting the double insulation around the entire place. And I'm leaving an extra gap here. Here, let's actually try and be smart about this. Do that. Because I want to be able to put the fireman's pole later. Alright, so we have a gas reservoir, so once we start getting too much pressure, we have those. We have the thermal regulators and thermal sensors and all that. And you're still... Oh, you can't finish that research. That's what you're complaining about. Let's click on that so research is happening, and I'll get back to it. Alright, so we can go ahead and expand our farm here real fast. You can also go in here and just clean that whole area out. Oh, we got another one. Alright, the speed we're researching stuff, I'm not used to. It felt like before the research was much slower. So I don't know if that did change or it's 100% just in my head. Did you trap your... Oh my god, the dupes are so stupid. Alright, let's try this again. Just that tile. There we go. Alright, we got more research for power improvements. That'll be the coal and wood burn. Let's see. Could your dupe have an affinity for research, perhaps? Certain kind of research. Oh, right. That's right. Usually with this kind of thing, you want to go like this. Let them put the outer layer on, and then circle back to do the inner layer. It's fine. Oh man, we got to dig that out a little farther so you can hit all those blocks. That's fine. I don't remember what the range on construction was. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 tiles. Alright. There's some kind of bug where it keeps like being like, you finished the research. You finished the research you just finished. It's like, yes? We did? Alright. I can put an airlock over here, for example. That might be the plan. Put an airlock over here with an insulation tile up there and there. It won't fully block this off. Go and start setting that up. And we'll get that figured out. First, let's go ahead and let them get that going. Alright, so we got a kiln and a rock crusher for making better metal later. Man, we'll keep expanding. How far do I want to take the right side? Yeah, we'll mine that tile so I can grab the stuff down there, and then I will get rid of these, and we'll go around. I think I go all the way over here, cut up this way, and then come across maybe one room taller just in case there's a room I'm forgetting. So make that like the inner base. That will keep temperature isolated from everything else, and then I'll use whatever procedures I can to cool off the yard here periodically. Alright, so we got you ready to dig even more challenging things. I would grab that muck root behind the isolated wall on the left. I mean, I'll probably grab that when I go over for the vent, because I'm going to end up carving a path over this way to that. And I'm going to build an area for steam power up there, I assume. Oh, 1 second. Cancel those two for now. Our curses. Oh no, I said that in response to Fluid Shade. Oh no, you're talking about the fact that I didn't take care of it, right? Yeah. It happens. Okay, so what do we got here? A care package increases the decor of a small area around the wearer. For a snazzy violet suit. Do it. Be the snazziest. How goes the air? Alright, so let's turn this one off. Because those use algae pretty heavily. So I don't wanna overdo it. Because ultimately what I'll do is I'll have an area that I make air and I'll just pump it where I need it. Keep the air pressure from getting too out of hand. Alright, you're gonna need one tile there just so you can reach to do this construction. We're done with this tile. Oh, you had Fast built the wall before the message came through? How am I supposed to annoy you with backseating at this rate? I don't know. Like, for the record, this didn't bother me. But, like, if Zoda's going to backseat, I think backseating that would be horribly delayed, like, not even relevant anymore, would probably be worse than, like, normal backseating. Because it would be the same problem as normal backseating, except it's not even good information anymore. Which goes on the assumption that backseating is good information, because it's a mixed bag. I've definitely had a number of times where people have said, you should do this. And it's like, no, I shouldn't. Here's the 10 reasons why I shouldn't. You need to build a bed and a toilet. Oh no! I mean, the game is trying to be like, you don't have enough beds. It's like, yeah, I do. Honestly, I could take 2 more dupes without any additional beds or toilets or anything like that. Don't do that. Cancel building. Those 2 for right now. Let the people finish. Not being trapped in the other side of that wall and getting themselves killed when you entomb them. Desalinization, which I don't need right now. Or scrubber would be fine. Are you hot racking beds? If you're saying where I have like a rotation, yes. They are on a rotation that like 2 people use the beds and 2 people use the beds and 2 people use the beds. Basically I have 3 schedules and at any time there's 2 people sleeping. Well, not any time, but you didn't know that was possible without mods? Well, no one's gone to sleep on the floor yet. I mean, it says it's assigned to people. I mean, it does say it's assigned to people. So, who would be the person sleeping where they shouldn't be? So we should have 2 people asleep right now. Who is the other one on sleep schedule with Katarina? Turner. Where are you, Turner? Because if that doesn't work, we're just about to find out. Where are you, Turner? No, Turner, where are you? There's those 4. You're asleep. You didn't lock yourself in some corner. Sleeping on the floor? That's what I'm looking for. I'm just not finding. Oh, up there. I see you. Okay, so yeah, that doesn't work apparently. Well, that's a bummer. I mean, it's fair. Alright, well that means I need another place for people to sleep. That's fine. With the rooms, what are the rules with the bedrooms? Get this out of here. So barracks is, it just has beds with no machines. Luxury has 1 or more comfortable beds, no cots, all that kind of stuff. So private room, so how big is that? So 12 to 64 tiles, 12 to 64 tiles. Minimum height of 4. Okay. I can live with that. Let's start making some more bedrooms. We'll put them on this side, I think. That should be enough. That should be 20 tiles. Be enough for a bed and some decor around it. Luxury, okay. So it needs a comfy bed and decor of 1. Yes, that's easy enough to do. Like, we're not able to do that now. I'm just setting it up so I don't have to tear apart the room later and then rebuild the whole thing. We'll just yank the bed. And deal with that. And just because we can. Oh, we can't. We gotta wait for it to be built before we can queue it up. So, I'll go ahead and do that room now. This room. Encapsulate little natural pockets like that, and make them a park. Yeah, I've actually never really been good about doing the park thing. Usually the way I'll deal with like a park or a natural park or that kind of stuff is when I can get my hands on, I believe they're called a pip, that creature. I'll just make it so, alright. If we just make this too wide, or we can just make this make sense. You're gonna get nice, slightly larger than required apartments. Thank me later, dupes. And thank me by forever doing work and never questioning anything. Oh, it's not gonna be even, it's gonna be upsetting. Because it's an even number. Ah, that's upsetting. I hate it. I hate it so much. Well, it can be too wide. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not excited about it, but out of the considerations, it's the lesser of evils. It's the least upsetting way of doing it. Redo the entire base. I haven't done that in this, but there are absolutely games that's been like, nope. I'm even gonna put the second door there. It's just, it has to be this way. The ladder on the right is one farther. You could also extend the floor. Make it 3 rooms, but taller. That's fair. That'd work. So then we would cut it off here. There. Go ahead and just tell it to build the base. So the reason I don't want it to extend the ladder farther, I want airflow up and down. Really, I'm actually unhappy with how narrow this is. I'm probably later going to try and shuffle things over like 2 tiles so I can put the, what's it called? The fireman's pole here and all that. I don't have those things yet, so it's not worth me tearing everything apart for the things I don't have. All right, so you have applied sciences. Yep, 100% agreed. Okay. Burns of the I may or may not have played this game with the same type of OCD type issues Rual has. Yeah, we're just like, please. Well, it's funny because there's some things that really bother people that I'm totally fine with. Like, a lot of stuff being asymmetrical and all that really gets on to people, and I'm like, that's fine. But stuff like that with bedrooms where I'm going to repeat them, like, it's one thing if I know I can, like, if I had, like, a big circle spot I couldn't use, like, okay, one of these rooms is going to be, like, really weird and all that. But, when you're situated like this, where you just have a box and one of the rooms is different size, and it's not for a valid reason, like, but no. A valid reason being, like, the game's like, no, this person needs a room that's 2 tiles larger than the other person's. Like, okay, game, that's fine. Hey, pay the bills. Use the duplicate skill points to buy out an entire branch of the skill tree. Yes. Insufficient oxygen production. How is our oxygen? That's not our oxygen. Yep, okay, so turn that back on. Alright, so... gas sensors and all that kind of stuff. And I'll put the double insulation up here next. after they get this room done. Oh, meanwhile, I do actually need to tell them to put the beds in there, don't I? Now, downside is when I get to the point that it's time to, put the cot in. It's gonna, or the better bed, it's gonna take almost the whole room. So decor is gonna be a little bit more involved, but that may just be I put a ladder, put crown molding on it, and circle back later. And that's probably gonna be enough. Hey, Angel Life, how's it going? Okay, so our food seems stable. We've not been dropping below 10,000, but for like a second and then coming back up. Power's a problem. They also done the tower of 12 tile wide rooms with a main ladder shaft, then a tower of 16 wide rooms to accommodate the larger size rooms? Yeah. These are getting full enough that I think it's fine to go like this. Alright. So oxygen's getting terrible down there. I did just turn this back on, and we haven't added more dupes. So it's just literally a problem if I'm expanding the area again, and that our airflow out here is terrible. So like we're hitting a bottleneck there. I'm not going to have a good solution to that until I start pumping air around. You can turn that building off. This is handling it fine. Where was it? There was like a materials overlay. Yeah, so that's the polluted oxygen there. So I got a couple little traces of polluted oxygen. That's probably from before I had those at all set up. Yeah, so that's fine. Turn that mode off because that hurts my eyes. Material study terminal. Manual rad bolt generator. Oh, I forgot. I remember we briefly looked at that, and I tested to see if I shot one of my own people, what it would do, and it was not good, by the way. Alright, so we can get a bunch of nutrition, or some characters that are kind of scuffed and I don't want them. Alright, nutrition it is. Oh, I thought it was going to give me another thing. Airflow tiles? Yeah, well, so the problem is, this I'm putting the double insulation to keep the temperature out, and I can't have an airflow tile that's also an insulation tile. So what I'm going to ultimately do is pump the air in and out of this area, which will bring some of the heat with us, but we're trying to sequester our living space to not get heat problems. So what I need to do is I need to put an air pump. How's the germs doing? Some germs going on. Speaking of airflow tiles, that's the next 4 of you to put in. It'll go like this. That'll be fine. Is this a DLC map with multiple planetoids, or the vanilla map with the one large area? It's multiple planetoids. Actually, I can just put this on there now. That's oxalate, so it's not cut through that. Cancel digging that one tile. Actually, no. We can dig that tile. Cancel digging that tile. And for right now, I'll cancel digging that tile, because what I'll do is I'll go up here and we'll put an airlock. Oh, no, wait, that is the outside. Never mind. My worry was I wasn't going to be able to reach it. It's like, wait, I can reach that. As long as I don't do that. Alright, so research we have, it's telling us that we have these things again. I don't know why it keeps telling me I have the same things twice. You're visiting Papa Strider? It's his birthday? Nice. I hope he has a good birthday. Alright, take those apart. Okay, so I think what we do... Oh, I need to select you to have all liquid, regular water. This is for his mopping up earlier. So we'll go all the way over here. We'll dig up those two. Because then what I think I'm going to do is this will be the right side of our insulated area. Come around this way. And to block it all off. And then this should be relative thing. Aren't you building an inner layer of the insulated roof? So this is the outer layer. Because I'm going to build the inner layer here. Because it's just like this 2 tiles around the outside is just kind of a little walk away. So like here, I'm making like a 2 tile buffer around the outside. Except the bottom floor, which doesn't have it because I kind of already grew there. So that'll be the right border there. That'll be that there. So that's the outside border. Put a ladder here. Yeah, I'll put the ladder there because I still have the water reservoir over here. And that should get us ahead of the heat. Then I can start doing stuff like messing around with the steam geyser and all that. I got more people skilling up. So Mary here is now maximum builder. And Jean is now maxed. Jean's been doing the supplying, but is apparently done with that. So we could go with it where we go into... We'll go with the mechatronics engineering direction, I think. Pretty soon I'm going to start worrying because my dupes are going to get more demanding on what they want, so want entertainment and stuff like that. Yeah, so our food is doing excellent. We have nothing to worry about there for the time being. The oxygen is in really good shape. Alright. Let's go ahead and put an airlock here. And just the 2 insulated tiles. Let's burn a lot of resources. Getting that fireman's pull on their main route, so hopefully that'll speed up everything. Now we can start poking through and figuring out how we can set things up with the generator over there. A ladder bed provides sleeping area for 1 duplicant and also functions as a ladder. Interesting. But meanwhile, with power, let's go check. Let's check our research and make sure I have steam power on the list. Because I have been ignoring stuff. Yeah, so steam power is on the list. It's right there. I'm gonna put that as a priority for now. So you spec'd into being a nuclear physicist, and this makes you think you have non-stop food. Why? Because that farm. It's farm. I'm gonna need to sort this air out in a big way. So we got some polluted oxygen is getting in here, which we'll be able to fix once I start getting, like, I'll make a space that you'll pump the air out of an area. It'll then be cycled. We'll split off, like, the carbon dioxide, the polluted air, and the air. Send them to each individual rooms, that each room is designed to deal with it. Like, I will make a room designed to deal with polluted air, oxygen. The carbon dioxide's filling the pit here. Oh, I don't want sand in the bottom of that. As a response to the poor duplicants under my care. Ah. As like, as long as the temperature's fine. Because right now the temperature's doing okay. I've got this wall over here I need to start blocking off. And I'm trying to get ahead of this wall over here as well. Mind that. And once I get this whole perimeter thing up here taken care of, I'm gonna start, like, just cutting into this more and more. I don't know why you're not getting over here and doing this side. It's fine though. I don't think we're in any kind of, like, a super rush with any of the insulation too much. New printables. We get a hatchling. I could get some algae or some more people. I mean, that's... Okay. I mean, you got a lot of good stats. We have plus... Oh, yeah, so you got some good stats there. I'm going to take the algae, because that's what I need for oxygen. And I am going by the... I don't really need more dupes right now. I did notice the shine bugs. I don't know where they disappeared or when, but they're gone. Wattage sensor. We have hydrogen power. I want to get that steam power up as fast as I can. There's one shine bug. You actually... Alright, so it's an unreachable build. Kind of I figured, so we go pop, pop, pop. I go furniture. So we can finish those rooms out, and then we'll get rid of the ladder. Alright, so this, let's turn that off again. Just reduce our algae usage. Alright, you are now maximum tidy. Pyrotechnics? Why do you have a hot hat that says... Oh, I guess pyrotechnics is max tidy? Okay. I don't personally think of tidying a room as pyrotechnics, but I mean, I guess to each their own? The large-scale environmental reconstructing and light bugs disappearance have nothing in common. It's like, this room is dirty, so I exploded it. It's, Hotel Renovator, where you go into, like, the trash rooms, and you throw dynamite, and it just takes all of the stuff off the walls and floors and everything, and just collapse it all into dirt on the floor, and then she just sweeps it up. It's that. Which, for the record, I found great. Now, granted, it has a unfortunate problem where when you throw the dynamite and it explodes, it's blinding no matter where you are. Like, you can have 3 layers of walls between you. If you're facing where the dynamite is, you still get the, you still get blinded by it, even though it shouldn't work that way. What is polluted here? Polluted dirt, no. Alright, we need to deal with that. Refinement. Compost. Because that's why we're getting pollution inside our place. Is it's all that polluted dirt is off-gassing. So make a single storage unit down here that'll just carry polluted dirt. Why not copy paste settings? I probably should. I don't really have a reason not to. Oh, we've hit the point that I don't have a research thing. So I cannot get steam power yet because I don't have the better power. Which is material study. Alright, so we're just gonna click on that thing again. Like, oh, that's a bummer. That's fine, we'll still get to there. Alright, so you... I don't care about anything else. Take polluted dirt and rot piles. Is there slime here as well? No. Because that should help start containing the pollution inside my building. Yeah, I forgot material study was a thing. And you need refined metal for that. Oh, which does mean what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to use the ore crusher. Rock crusher, whatever it is. To do that. You put out an okay amount of heat. Alright, so we got a bunch of this sorted. Okay, we got this spot set up. I'm not going to double insulate this. I'm mostly just going to try and limit it a little bit going in and out here. So you have this producing a whole bunch of water. So this is effectively an infinite water source, but a source of heat. That is a concern. So what I want to do is be able to use that to get ourselves a whole bunch of stuff coming up here. Got our area over there. Do we have more? Well, that's weird. Like a little snaked path of oxalate. So not seeing any obvious temperature differences that I don't already know where those guys are. We could do the priority view. The only problem with the priority view is it's very easy to there, so we got a cool slush geyser up here, so that's a source of cold for us. That's how we'll cool stuff off, is that cool slush geyser. Got natural gas for power over here. You got steam over there for water. Okay, we got some stuff we can work with on this. If we get the natural gas going, I can pump stuff out of here and make that work. You got you up here for cooling stuff out. Alright. Oh, you're about out of water down there. Alright. So you're gonna need to be deconstructed and moved. I'll put it here. Deconstruct this. Deconstruct that. Deconstruct those. We'll put a ladder down here to around there. Please, Mary. There you go. And that should allow me to get everything but these two tiles. Then we go here. We can empty that out. Cool. Yeah, so what should happen is the temperature in here should remain pretty constant. We're getting a little bit of heat from that battery. Honestly, I could deconstruct this battery now. I've got the bigger one outside. Most of the rest of the stuff doesn't make heat of any meaningful amount. So that should help us keep the temperature down inside. So I shouldn't have to do too much to try and, you know, deal with temperature inside our building. But the good news is that that slush up here, that is an excellent find. Because that means I have a source of cold. So I could put something in here that dumps heat. It warms up, that cools it back down. That whole thing. Alright, so the things that are priority I need to deal with is the ability to move air around and the ability to move liquids around. I'm gonna need some type of reservoir location for these kinds of things. Probably outside, I mean, it's not probably, outside of our perimeter. So what I'm actually gonna do, have that go up there. I'm gonna switch you for a manual airlock. Because we'll build a reservoir up here. Oil refinery. There's our natural gas generator. Build an airlock out there. See what we can do to start trying to set up the slush up here. I could actually see putting a water pump up here where we have this slush, because we know we're going to get polluted water here. There's no preventing that. And use that as our reservoir for our polluted water. Pump it wherever we pump it, start sanitizing it, that kind of stuff. Duplicate skills. So Ari here is now improved farming 2. Turner here. Oh, it scrolls to the right now. Interesting. Super duper hard digging. And then for blueprints, we can get coal, water. I already have a maxed agriculture person, so we're going to get coal. Eventually, I'll start expanding the number of dupes I have. Do hats get bonuses? I don't believe so. That's something I could be wrong on. I believe they're cosmetic, but they can kind of be a way of, like, differentiating who's who. So we are going to have to make a stove at some point, because right now we're just literally making muck bars. Or not muck bars, we're taking... That's what we're making, is we're making lice loaf for dinner. Lice loaf. Alright, so we got over there. Start carving through a little bit to start moving over towards that as well. And just like over here, I'm going to have an airlock to that side as well. Yeah, just an airlock there. Textile loom. Drywall and carpet. Alright, so we've got that up there. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, okay, clean me out a nice large space up here. We're going to start putting our gas reservoirs and all that. I'm going to need filters. I'm going to need a whole bunch of stuff. But I do believe the plan is going to be... punch the way up. Let's go ahead and... Alright, so the plan is going to be to get up to this thing. It is very, very cold in this room. I do think I'm going to make the polluted water reservoir down here. That, like, ultimately all this polluted water I've got going down here. I'm going to move that up here. I'm going to need a way to sanitize, which unfortunately the chlorine is down here, but that's fine. I can pump the chlorine up into a reservoir, into a room over here. It's going to take some setup to go. I actually have chlorine right here. That's even perfect. That's great. But I'm going to need like a little filtration area where I can pump mixed gases and mixed all that in there and go, okay, oxygen there, polluted oxygen over here, chlorine up there, that kind of thing. Just to separate out the gases. We have high pressure stuff. Cool. Now bear with me, because I need to grab myself a new drink, and I'll be right back. I think what it's doing is I think it's showing research complete both for like when I do the advanced part of the research and the not advanced part of research, is I think what's happening, because it does seem like it's double reporting a lot of the research. Okay. So that gives us our water reservoir. I think that might be our first step, is dealing with the water reservoir. I also don't know, I can't remember, how heavy are you, chlorine? I was trying to see how heavy chlorine gas was, whether I need to make a pit for chlorine or I need to make another thing. Oh, Weezer Ward is also good. Weezer Ward is a way you can get cooling effect with like no effort. Especially if you leave it alone and don't replant it, it will just survive. And it just makes the area around it cooler. So that's another way I can cool stuff down. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is this will be like our water sanitation room. So you put 3 reservoirs. Hey, Red Hawk Black Sheep, thanks so much for the raid. Let me go ahead and get you a shout out. Red Hawk Black Sheep playing some Product Zomboid from the looks of it. I hope you had yourself a excellent stream. And welcome in, Raiders. Yeah, so I'm building our 6 water reservoirs. We're going to have 3 of these are going to be the polluted water, and 3 of these are going to be the not polluted water. But my intention is to make this a room I will fill up with chlorine. Yeah, it's going well. But my plan is to make it a room that I'll fill up with chlorine to sanitize it from germs. That way I have water crossing through it at all times. And that this will be the buffer room, as it were. But with that, I'm going to need... Gotta remember... What I'm trying to remember is if chlorine is heavier than oxygen or not. So I need to find a room that has both. It's definitely not heavier than hydrogen. Hydrogen is super light. But all these rooms that have the chlorine in it, I'm not seeing anything but chlorine. Well, and hydrogen in this case. I'm hoping to see like oxygen like right here on the edge of it. I didn't see. Look at the guide where the density is. Yeah, I didn't see density here. So guide. Chlorine gas. Where are you? You're telling me what produces you, and at what temperature it happens at, but I'm not seeing density. Because that's what I want to know, is whether oxygen or chlorine is heavier. Basically what I'm trying to determine is, do I need to make a pit so that the chlorine sinks into it, the oxygen stays mostly above, and I could just use a pump to correct it a little bit? Or do I need to put the air pump down below to pump, you know, I'm going to have a little carbon dioxide get in there. I can live with that. But I want to make sure that when I seal the room, like where I need to have the air pump. Chlorine is 34, oxygen is 15. Cool. And then I assume carbon dioxide is just way the heck higher. Because carbon dioxide, I want to say it was either the heaviest or like close to the heaviest. Duplicate skills. Alright, well, you've already finished that research, so go ahead and pick up astronomy as well. Yeah, it's always setting up this room is always a trick. Yeah, but if it is heavier than oxygen, I do believe what I'm going to want to do is put 2 tiles here on either side, so that's a little bit of a pit. And at first I'm going to go ahead and just pump out all the air I can, make it as near vacuum as I can, and then we'll start pumping the chlorine in. Gaseous gold is the highest. Hopefully you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Hopefully I don't have to turn gold into a gaseous state. That would be pretty hot. I don't believe I would run into that without something going horrifically wrong and more than likely killing all of my dupes. Okay. I'm just taking the material goods for right now. Yeah, so the plan is, I'll have that there, I'll make a second floor, and for right now, the second floor is going to have an air pump. We're going to keep pumping the air out of it until this is, like, again, near vacuum. Wonder how hot that would be. We could find out. We just go right here and go gold. Gold gas. 5,172.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Lukewarm. Hydrogen, O2, Pluto 2, natural gas, steam, sour gas, chlorine, CO2. Gotcha. So chlorine is the second heaviest. Okay. That actually wouldn't be hard to manage. I may not even have to do a silly pumping shenanigans if I can be quick about this. Because what I could do is if I can block this off, poke a hole in this, and then just leave it alone for a while, then this should naturally become mostly chlorine as air, like oxygen, comes up and it starts mixing and pushing it down. But I'm going to need to clean all this stuff out, so it's probably going to get some CO2 in there. It's fine. So I will put a tile here. Then we're going to carve across that, like so. And just in case I do end up needing to go around this, a bit of ladder on that side. I'll put an airlock here and here. Actually, not there. Here. 5,000 and what? I need to convert Celsius. I feel like once you get to those thousands, the units stop mattering. Like, you've reached the point the units stopped mattering. Yeah, I don't think I need pumps or vents or anything. All we need to do is get through this with as little CO2 going in there as possible. Dump the chlorine into it. And we can be about our way. You can actually get across there. Alright, hang on. Oh, don't worry. They do matter. When you don't want rock gas, but do want magma. I can't think of anything that could contain that except like a plasma barrier and a magnetic chamber. Alright, so we made a big place that is kind of just a pit. It has just a tiny bit... Oh, good. It's still oxygen mostly in there. So my hope is that I can get them through here, only like a little teeny tiny bit of carbon dioxide. Why would you do this? What is with this treachery? The person started building across, and immediately the person's like, and dumping down the hole. Excellent. And I'm going to put a ceiling over it, but I'm going to do that last. Because it might be able to get away with like literally just sealing this up with the chlorine in there, putting the ceiling over top, and then never having to go in this room ever again. Oh, right. The pipes. Alright. Okay, so you have the out pipe to the in pipe, the out pipe to the in pipe. And then we have the out pipe. Right now, I'm just going to poke it up here. And same with that. Same deal. No, I have these backwards. It's fine, because then I can go in this... It'll flow this way, that's fine. That's fine. What am I doing? I'm connecting to yourself. Hang on. Let's not be dumb. Okay, so we can go here, connect that, here, connect that. And then you pop up there. It can also be a thing. Let's cancel that block. If a bunch of CO2 does get in here, I'll poke a hole through there, let the CO2 like leak off, and then I'll put the I'll plug the hole again, and then drain the chlorine. So we'll stop the last block here, so I don't accidentally punch through earlier than I'm ready. Yeah, so we got it's very low pressure, so that's still probably fine. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. Let's make a regular wall there for a moment. Cancel that. Make a regular wall there for a moment. No, I'm lying. Don't make a regular wall there. We are going to insulate that. But ultimately, I'm going to make it this high and cut across the whole top. Because then I can put a vent just in case. Alright, and we'll also go right there, cancel building that. We'll dig that. They should start getting that sorted out over here. The problem is I have to go around for that, which is... Wow, you're going through a lot of water all of a sudden. I'm definitely going to have to get that sieve set up. Okay, so that's the output, this is the input. So I put the sieve down here. And go refinement, water sieve, here. Let's make... This side will be fresh water. That'll be fresh water coming into our base. This will be fresh water going out of our base. So there's the fresh water. I'll put that where we need, so I can go ahead and cancel. I'll just leave it alone. It's fine. Clear out all these. Hey, the follow. Welcome to the stream. And then separately, I will need a place for the polluted water. All right, so we're gonna have a bunch of pipes going up and down this middle area, more than I really wanted to, but there's that. Okay, so this is the polluted water input, and then the polluted water output. That's out, that's in. Can that go behind things? I can't remember. Okay, so I'd hook all that up with the sieve. It is the polluted water input. So for right now, that needs to go down here. I'll connect you in a minute, because then I can tear that out. And I need a liquid pump. I'll need power. Alright. That's going to be a whole big build that we got going on. So we got to have a whole bunch of fish. They're going to grab, because they're going to bounce around, and then they're going to die. Because I need to get this wired up now. Because our water is getting low. Oh, right, you have a limit on how much power you can have on. That's right. Potential load. I don't know if that counts buildings that haven't been constructed yet or not, but that's terrifyingly concerning. We'll get there. Save the fish. I'm saving the fish for dinner. Oh, look. The fish are fine. It's okay. They're fine. What more could fish want than that tiny itty-bitty little pool? Okay. Honestly, it's got like no weight to it. Let's put that tile in place. Punch the hole. So for part of that, we are extending that up a little so that they have to hop down to it. The reason I'm doing that is that way it doesn't spill over, because when I get the chlorine in there, I also need you. Oh no! All right, I have a problem I have to solve still. Take that tile apart, and you just sweep this floor. We have radiation. We got all that stuff. I don't need to take the part. Cancel deconstructing that. We need to go here to first sweep. Sweep all that. Finish the research on the oil well, the polymer press, that's fine. Pressure. Pressure too low, I assume. Alright, turn you back on. Okay. And just as a precaution, in case I end up needing later, we'll put a gas vent here. The gas pipe there. That I could hook up for if I ever need to pump more chlorine into that room. And then that'll be our sanitation situation. Okay, so you need to hook up to power. Let's go ahead for a moment and assume I am hooking that up to this. And if it ends up being too much power, what I'm going to end up doing is start to take stuff off. Water? Yeah, the water's bad. We're working on it. I'm actively trying to set up the sieve and all that so I can get that. Duplicate skills, Gene. Go ahead and pick up operating. The water tastes like fish? The water is fish. There's no water, only fish. Exactly. Timor understands. Alright, so we've got almost all that hooked up. We still have the electrical line to hook up. Because stuff being included on that power is stuff like the sludge press, which just isn't doing anything. Something fishy going on here? Absolutely. Why are the fish overcrowded and glum? That is plenty of water for, like, 8 of you. Looking at my aquarium, wondering if the water tastes like shrimp. Yes, but not in the way you want it to. It doesn't taste like, you know, cooked, properly prepared shrimp. Yeah, so air pressure is slowly building up. Just add butter. You're gonna need a lot of butter to solve that problem. A whole lot of butter to solve that problem. I'll take your word for it. Good choice. You have chosen wisely. Some things you don't want to actually test. And a dash of lemon. Yep. Yeah, so the plan is just to punch a hole through this, let the chlorine dump into this room, and just close it. I have to plug this edge, though. Because, like, there's carbon dioxide there, but that pressure is, like, 34 grams, which is basically nothing. Versus, like, that chlorine's at 900 grams. Now, I think I'll probably have to wall that off. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Worst case, if it spills over, I'll start pumping the air out and doing with that. Saltwater aquarium is not tasty. I found out recently while cleaning it. Yep. Tomb, I'm sure, can absolutely verify that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and have you do digging as well. Because construction and digging goes pretty hand in hand in this game, because you'll want to build a ladder, there'll be wall in the way. Surprised you haven't got that power line done. There, we're actively solving that problem. Never mind. Okay, so now if I click on this line, So the power load can potentially exceed what we're looking for. Power produced. Oh, power produced is that. Yeah, that's fine. I want to know how much you can use sledge press. So 120 on that. It's 120, so if that doesn't get used, that's fine. Maybe that crafting table also has power it needs? No, it doesn't. And this is turned off. So it can't add to that. Deodorizer 5 power, which is basically nothing. Alright. So I'm gonna need to make the power infrastructure better. Which is going to suck. Because I believe that requires better wire. Oh, it just requires copper. Oh, it's just more. Okay, that's not bad. I was thinking conductive. Well, even conductive wire is not. Yeah, I was thinking conductive wire, which requires refined metal. Okay, so you do count on here. So that's 60. That's off for that. I think we're okay. If we do have a wire overload, then we'll deal with wires overloading problems. The water's just cycling to itself. I have you backwards. I'm getting really worried about this. Alright. Hang on. Let's look at these pipes. Okay. So, this pipe needs to face this way to go up. So it goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out. Okay, it was just the one. Okay. I got really kind of panicked there going, wait a second. All of these are wrong. Let's double check this last one down here. So, in, out. You're good. Okay. I just had just the one bridge the wrong way. All right. Yeah, that won't run right with the out vent. Oh, one moment. Choose blueprint. Sure. Yeah, no, that's the out vent's going away. That's going away. That was just here before because of this, and now that's gonna feed in and go that way. The out vent is going away. Oh, you're not going through because there's not a connected pipe area, so you can't get the whole way around. Yeah, so once they connect that pipe, we should be good order. So right now it's just gonna flow through from one end to the other and not stop. That's fine. Eventually, we'll start backing up, and then this will be a buffer. And I want the buffer to be in the room that we're going to be putting chlorine in to sanitize. In the meantime, we're going to have this. And right now, it's just going up to the reservoir, and then that pipe just comes down here. We are probably going to be germing the crap out of our people soon, because I don't really have the way of fixing it. Hazmat digging. Are they holding their air to work? Yes. Because there's not, like, it's just a little teeny tiny traces amount of carbon dioxide in there. There's no meaningful amount of oxygen. Alright, so... tell them to sweep the last of it. Let's get it out of here. Put in that insulated tile on that side. And then we start letting the chlorine roll. All right, poke your hole. Let's go and put that there as well, and there as well, just as a precaution. They won't stick around, but for right now, they'll put in there. Yep, already working on it. And increase the priority. There we go. You've got almost all the stuff cleared out. Go and sweep up there as well. How's the fish? They're still doing their thing. Yeah, so the unfortunate reality is I'm gonna have to alright, we're gonna be getting some people pretty unhappy here. We'll put it to that height. It's gonna be polluted, or it's gonna be germified water. Alright. Here we go. Okay, this door is officially going to be off limits. Not while you're on that side. Now it's off limits. Not while you're on that side. Now you're off limits. Please. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Is that permission to left only? Alright, so chlorine is starting to seep in. I literally told you to lock it, and then after you locked it, you climbed through. It says, that's the thing. The permissions are all grayed out here. I'm assuming that's because we had it set to open or whatever. That... Erase over here. You're set to auto. That way only. That way only. Alright, so now we should start getting some chlorine in there. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to see. So the hope is, right now I'm actually not seeing like any germs at all. Like this cesspool of germs is awful. Is the sieve actually clearing the germs? I think it's supposed to do that. I thought it was about to just take polluted water and make it not polluted. That's fine. We'll go with it for now. Yeah, so that's getting germified water over there. Alright, what were you working on? You have tidying. You can have supply... Actually... Oh, once you click it, you're done. Well, I was like, oh, actually, I should give you cooking. Well, too late to take back. It's fine. So you've got your farming. Supplying is fine as well. As long as the fish can live in it. Yeah, the fish will be fine with it. It's gonna make her dupe sick. But I mean, you know. That's just life. So the next thing I need to do is start worrying about the air situation. So, gotta figure out the best way of doing that. Because I need to start pumping clean air someplace. Oh, I needed to have... we can still fix it. I need to have my air storage up here as well. So I can take our polluted air and sanitize it as well. Yeah, it'll go, so not a whole lot. Let's see the germs. Yeah, so I got the germ pit here. Oh, you can also pop in here and start making... Who's gonna play? That's like, yeah, but it's so much fun. Playing, yeah. We can put you there. Alright, and now we just go here to Liquid Bridge. It honestly doesn't matter too much. It should matter, actually, because it really kind of... Yeah, that's going to have to be fine. If it does become a problem, I can punch a hole in that pipe and then move it over. Deconstruct that one. And we'll go here to plumbing. We'll add a shower. Deconstruct you. Go to medical. We'll add a sink. Connect that. Connect you. Connect that. Connect you. That has to go. Alright, we can get an egg. I don't really need the second shower, but I'm putting it in there because I can. They didn't look up any guides and just started playing. Ended up with 20 replicants choking on a gas. Yeah. Hey, Wickhammer! Thank you so much for the raid. Let me drop the speed down just a smidge and do a shout out for you. Shout out at Wickhammer. Wickhammer playing some Project Zomboid, I assume. I hope you had yourself a good stream and welcome in Raiders. Hey, Angie, how's it going? But, sorry, I'm trying to mentally juggle all these things. Yeah, so we're playing some Oxygen Not Included. Fun little colony building game where everything's awful. Your people... Actually, cut that way. Your people end up getting all hit up with pollution and all that. Germs and heat overwhelming and all sorts of awful stuff. It's wonderful. Why am I not getting more fresh water? Where's the fresh water going? You're going up here. Oh. It's just not running fast enough. Ever play like Don't Starve? Yeah, I enjoy Startup. How much is the game? Gotcha. It's gonna depend on your own region, but I believe if Random Cookie's probably right, it's probably $25 US. Give her a little bit. So we are having a problem now where my power is not stable enough. Oh, good. We've got a new achievement. Replace the outhouse with wash basins and lavatories and sinks. Nice. In other words, instead of manually making our people, you know, plunge the outhouse, we've automated. The problem is, this sieve, the power keeps turning off because my power is unreliable. Because it is a person running in a hamster wheel. So we gotta fix that. Alright, I've been putting this off for a while. We're gonna use coal. That's what you play Don't Starve? Yeah, I'm trying to remember, I think at one point I did just a little bit of Don't Starve. Oh, right, the heavy power cable can't run in walls. That's right, that's the limitation. I forgot about that. Well, but hang up. And go take care of your family, do your thing that you need to do. I appreciate you bringing it. Ah, that sucks. I forgot about that problem. Alright, new plan. Cancel building that here entirely. All of this, gone. Put you back. Don't upgrade these cables. There's no point. And instead, we're going to go over here. And there's all sorts of interesting things you can do, like step up and down power and that kind of stuff. Run it to the battery. Well, if I run it to the battery will still be on the same grid as the rest of it. I think that's true. Like, you can use transformers and that kind of stuff to work around a lot of the problems. What I think we're going to do is I'm going to put the coal power to the sieve and the pump down here. And then disconnect it from a lot of the stuff up here. Yeah, I can do like a heavy power joint panel and all that, but we're not going to. Yeah, I totally forgot you can't run those through walls. So that's fine. We'll put the coal power here. Gonna run this. Alright, so let's see. If I separate this into a separate... Oh, I still have the battery here, though. The fishies are saved? Ish. Alright. We're gonna have two grids. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna have two grids. That's how it's gonna fly. So you're gonna go boom, boom, boom. And the shared tile right there, deconstruct it. So you're starting to get sick from yuck lungs. Okay, so the old network is still running, still doing its thing just fine, and they're getting the new network set up. You still haven't built that? Come on. This might actually be the problem here. Okay, so we got that all hooked up there. They're still working on all this. This room is filling up with chlorine, which is perfect. Because that'll sanitize the water we store in that room. Which our intent is, we've got this wonderful cool glacier up here. We're going to pump that down and use that as cooling for wherever we need to cool stuff. It's also going to be a source of water that we can then clean, because it is not germy water, it's just gross water. Yeah, so it's complaining that the toilets are offline, which is fair, because they are. So this needs to be priority, like, right now. Okay. That should start solving our problem there. We'll have a battery to smooth things out when the coal turns off. Cool, so how's the load on this network now? The max power it can handle is... So it has a max potential power of 1,000. Oh no, 360. You made a mess. Lovely. And those will come back online as soon as that fresh water gets back. I'm doing well. What's happening with our pipes? So we're not making progress. Okay. So basically that's not able to handle the load. Huh. That's a problem. Yeah, so I need to make this a series is what I need to do. Because if I make this a series where it has to go past this point, we should be able to take advantage of it. I'm just trying to see the way we do that. I could turn this pipe around, so it goes out this way and circle around that way. It's probably what I need to do. Do this. That is not what none of that's how I want that to go. And our pump, it's not our pump problem. It's the capacity of the pipe is being overwhelmed. You just jump over the existing bridge? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. At this point, I'm already in it. Let's do this. Because we need to fix this problem. Because people are having problems everywhere. We'll leave it at that. Now, ideally, in the future, what I probably want to do is actually have this, instead of being on the outline, that it goes on the inline to the reservoir, so that the buffer is there. Because there's a lot of ways this can go wrong, and I've kind of already set up in a way I probably shouldn't have. Please finish those pipes. If you ever want to use the restroom again, you're gonna finish those pipes. Come on, one more spot. Yay! Now we have a lot of sweeping of all the places people made messes. I don't know where everyone made a mess. They made it. Okay, cancel that. We don't want to bother cleaning that up. And it's all better now. Alright, so that's at 360. We could definitely do magic with that. And this is filling up. Check our temperatures. So for the most part, the temperatures are pretty good in here. We're getting a little warm in this area, but that shouldn't be too hard to solve. I can probably solve that just dealing with this area up here. The moment I punch through and I start using that, that'll cool us right down. Duplicate skills. Researching data analysis. Cool. The fish seem happier? Yep. They're now just overcrowded and glum. This game is meant you run a machine to dispose. This game is meant for you to run a machine to dispose of waste product and produce oxygen in the process. There is a lot of exchanges you do. Right now, this machine isn't making oxygen. It's disposing of wastewater to make clean water. And then separately, I have these things, which are absorbing carbon dioxide and making oxygen, but like I put good water into it, and they make gross water to come out of it. But there's also a bunch of different ways to deal with it. Like if you look, I have all these different ones here. So I have like electrolysis, where I can use hydrogen to create oxygen and hydrogen. Sorry, I can turn water into oxygen and hydrogen. Like there's all sorts of different exchanges, but it is around like juggling different materials, turning one into a different one, and then, you know, juggling your temperatures, juggling everything else. And once you finally get all balanced, you add something else in the process and throw the entire thing off, and it becomes a big problem to solve. Yeah, so what I need to do is I want to make this room. We're gonna go in here. First, I'm gonna click in this thing. I'm deliberately not putting more dupes in yet. I want to put in the air passing by ones. Because then I'm going to go air gas reservoir here and here. And I'll have to go, I'm planning to kind of go over top here and down. So that way oxygen should avoid the chlorine coming out the other way too much. That's the theory, at least. I don't know if it's going to work out, because I meant to put that in there in the first place. Worst case, just punch a hole in our chlorine room. But then I can put the... We can honestly just put the oxygen in here. For that matter. We'll end up swapping that out. Storing oxygen? Yeah, for like basically have the oxygen going through a room that we've got chlorine in to help clean the germs out of the air. Get rid of yuck lung. So what I can do is I can have all of this, run an air pump. If it's CO2, we just dump it right back out. If it's oxygen... Right, yuck lung is the polluted oxygen. Right, which I already have my deodorizers up here. Yeah, it's the germs there, but yeah, I already have the deodorizer up here. But the idea is what I can do is I can put an airlock here. Once I've got it where I can pump air in and out. Because I need to pump the CO2 out and the oxygen in. And I was just going to put that in the middle of the process for when we get germs in the air. Pretty sure you get germs. Yeah, so when we get the germs in the air, I can sanitize that. Alright, so this thing's already here. So I want to figure out a good place to fit. We'll just scooch all this over. That's what we'll do. Move that there. It'll deconstruct those. Because then I put the air pump here. Only slime lung germs are harmful in the air? Yeah. The point is I still want to clean the air as we go along, because if I set that up to begin with, when slime lung starts showing up, we'll have that handled. Just whatever contaminated air gets wherever, we got it sorted. Alright, so we have a gas pump here. I'll put a gas pump there. There's a reason for it, we'll get to that in a minute. So the first gas pump, I'm going to need a gas filter. That what you're going to do is you're going to separate just straight oxygen. That's all you're going to separate is just straight oxygen. I'm trying to remember how you even set this up. So I can't set it for both, which is fine. I'll separate the oxygen out. Yeah, I do want to... Where do I want to take this? We'll take it up. So the thing is, oxygen rises, generally speaking. I think I'll literally put it here. But I want it far enough away. I'm just not doing a cycle of pumping the oxygen out and then right back into the room. So cancel that. Gas pump. I don't have... It's fine. We'll put it over here. I'll probably end up needing multiple vents anyways, so put this vent right there. That'll be fine for the oxygen right now. And let's see. So the other thing I need... is anything we don't filter is going to get dumped down here. And then later on I'll add extra filters in there. I just remembered the whole reason I set this up this way. I didn't think this through. It's fine. Here to that gas pipe. That one. That's because I'm going to go ahead and take this all the way up here. That goes that input. Okay. And for you, I don't have everything I want to set you up for yet, so I'm just going to say, there's a pipe there, there's a pipe there, I'll deal with you later. That way I can eventually close that off and I don't have to tear back into it to fix stuff later in the Alright. So I've been putting this off. But let's put an airlock up here. Bit of a tunnel there. A ladder down. That we can pop in, do all that stuff, and I shouldn't let too much chlorine in, because the oxygen flowing up here should put pressure down to keep the chlorine from backfilling, as it were. And with that, how much power do you use? You're not connected. How much power do you use when you're running? Are you in the base game or DLC? DLC. 240 watts. So I should be able to handle both those pumps on the same grid. And if not, that means I messed up my math. Alright, chat. So, what's going to happen here in just a minute is I am going to hit that point during my stream where I have to stop and make food happen. That, then, you know, I'm going to step away, make the food happen, be back in like 5 minutes kind of thing. If you ever want a challenge that will make you pull your hair out, try the flipped asteroid with the lava at the top. Oh, that sounds terrible. Why are you pipe blocked? Oh, it's because you're just not finished building pipe. So if you bear with me, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I am going to pause the game. And I'm going to stop the recording real fast.